Hi guys, Rob here from the Coalfield Symphony, and welcome to the first episode in our new series called Under the Coalfield, where we break down the stories, the arrangements and the mixes of the music that you hear on our debut album, Virtue and Villainy. Before we dive into the music, a quick reminder to like us on Facebook, give us a follow on Instagram, and if you enjoy the video, give it a like, give it a share, and drop us a comment below. We always love to hear from you. Today, myself and Jack are going to be looking at the first single from our new album, Symphony. If you haven't yet heard the track, go check it out by clicking the link in the description, where you can also find a pre-save link for the new album. This will add it straight to your Spotify, Apple Music or other streaming service library on its release day, Friday the 12th of February, so you'll be the first to hear it. And now, without further ado, let's go under the coalfield. This is Symphony. Let's start with, I suppose, the story behind this track. Just before we get into the mixes and the arrangement, let's have a little,
a little background
knowledge,
if you like, Rob. Well, as you know, Rob, I have a very deep love, a passion for 70s disco. It's a badge I wear with pride.
He wears it with pride, yes.
I'm not wearing my flares today, of course. But so that sort of musical history, if you like, stylistically speaking, was in the back of my mind in the initial writing process, and it sort of informed the lyric, that sort of 120 BPM steady beat. And then obviously I sent the demo over to you, and the song we have now bears no resemblance.
No, it doesn't. Let's have a listen to that demo that Jack talks about here. So the demo for Itza had an Itza before.
It's had Itza, didn't
It's
it?
a Symphony. No, it's just called Symphony now. But let's have a listen to this demo. And this really doesn't bear any resemblance to what we have at the start of the song anyway.
Certainly not. Yeah, sort of the initial ideas as well, West Coast, California kind of dreamy, almost like an overture, which we'll get on to shortly. Wasn't necessary. Some nice jazzy chords there.
Yeah, so that goes on for a while. Let's move it forward.
It goes on for several days.
However, just move it on a little bit further. You'll be able to see, if you're familiar with the song, it's kind of there. The chords are there. The tempo is different. The feel is different, though, isn't it?
Too late, the hero. Chips are down to zero.
So yeah, the lyrics are there, the chords are there, but the feel was different. So when you sent me this through, I thought it's got a lot. No, you laugh, but it's nothing that bad. Trust me. It was. I could tell that actually this had a lot of potential. It just needed a bit of tweaking. So essentially, what I did, the main thing. The first step in the arrangement was to simply just increase the tempo of the song. Increase the tempo of the song and just give it a bit of a lift, because it just felt a little bit wallowy, a little bit laden. So just give it a bit of a kick up the backside, really, and just give it the energy it needed to be an album opener. Also took the introduction off the start as well. So we had, in Same Old Songs, we had the overture, didn't we?
It was a very grand overture, and obviously, Rob, that was sort of the initial thinking when the cogs were first going. Ooh, should we have something, maybe not an overture, but sort of a soundscape, if you like, sort of an urban soundscape. And then we thought, do we really need it? Let's just get to the action. Yeah,
let's get to the action. So the overture went, and let's have a look what replaced it here. Okay, we're going to have a look at some drums.
Right.
Simply this is our overture for the album. That's it. Hear that one more time?
What more do you need?
That's it. Kick, snare. That's it. I'm straight into it then. So I watched, I don't think I've told you this before, but I think in the week leading up to when you sent me this, I watched the film Rocket Man, the Elton John film. And there's a really great moment in that film where it gets to, he's in rehab, and the song I'm Still Standing comes about. I thought that's a really infectious groove, and there's not actually many songs with that really, really straightforward beat. So I thought, let's take that and put it in here. And it just gives you that really, really driving beat. There's really nothing to it. It's kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. That's essentially it. So let's have a little bit of a look into the mix a little bit further. Okay, so on top of that, we just got some bass. Not doing too much again, just driving it forward all the time. The piano that Jack wrote, that's there.
Yeah.
It's a real piano feature, actually, this track.
Well, that's sort of the heart and soul of what we do, isn't it, Rob? It's
I think
piano
so.
and voice.
Yeah.
The embellishments are...
Yeah, and we've got some... So this guitar part here, essentially just the same thing. It just outlines the piano, generally. Just gives it a bit more energy, kind of doubles the piano there. So there's not too much more to say about that, other than I tried to recreate that guitar part. What you're hearing there is the demo. You're hearing the demo of the guitar. I couldn't actually play... When I came round to tracking all the guitar part, I couldn't play that as well. The second time.
You find that though, don't you, Rob? I think when it's the natural take, when everything's just, it might not be 100% sort of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, but the vibe is there.
It's got the right feel, it's got the right vibe to it, And you know what? You put that with all the rest of the rhythm section. So we've got the piano, the guitar, the bass and the drums, dead simple 4-piece rhythm section. And it just drives, it's just really, really simple. And it's just a lot of space for everything on top of that to go. And that goes all the way through. Let's have a little look. So horns, we've had some horns before. And we thought, you know what, album opener, let's get them back in. Here we are. Going for that real Phoenix horns.
Yes.
Sort of style. Really, really bright, really, really toppy. Lots of attack to it. Lots of intricate sort of semi-quaver rhythms. Sort of things like that. Just add that in over the top of that. And we have the start of our track. This is the opening of the album.
Yes.
And that's it. That's basically it. Let's move on. So let's talk about one of the most interesting points of this song, the backing vocals.
Yes.
What do we call them?
Well,
we came up with a name, didn't we?
We gave them... Well, we thought the Coalfield Singers, then we thought, that's a bit...
It's a bit bland, isn't it?
So we've jazzed it up, haven't we, Rob? We're going for the Latin market, so it's Los Cantantes del Campo del Carbón. And if you ask
Carbon.
Del Carbón.
That's coal, isn't it?
It is coal. It's the singers of the Coalfield, I believe.
Singers of the Coalfield.
If there's any Spanish listeners out there, I do forgive my pronunciation or mispronunciation of that.
So the reason why we gave them a name, I suppose, is because they feature quite heavily on this.
They're a big
on this
feature
album.
of this,
which is something new for us. We've never really got stuck into the
Not
backing vocal market.
No.
So it's a bit new for us, but we thought we've got in Barnsley here we've got some fantastic singers that we know.
Do.
So we thought we'd get them in and just add an extra element to our album. So anyway, let's have a listen to them. We're going to go from the chorus. Let's have a listen.
It's a symphony, agony and ecstasy, innocence and complicity, virtue and villainy.
Turn on that warble. Come on.
Symphony.
Yeah.
It really worked. And when we got them in, Georgie Bennett, Charlie Veal, Hannah Rowe, Sarah Dyson, Tom Masters and Sam Dyson, thank you very much, guys.
Los Cantantes del Campo del Carbón.
Yeah, you really made this.
No.
And when I got them in, it was just a case of more vibrato, basically.
Yes,
As thicker sound as possible. Lots and lots of
There's
scoops.
such juicy chords on the symphony bit there, Rob, and it's just having those vocal harmonies. It's just the cherry on the cake.
Yeah, it just adds to it. Yeah, let's have a listen to.
Agony and ecstasy.
So this is with Jack in as well.
Innocence and complicity. Virtue and villainy.
Yeah, it just elevates it. Yeah.
It's a symphony. And the band
Plays on. Yeah, there we go. The band plays on, indeed. So yeah, those backing vocals are a real heavy feature of this. Speaking of backing vocals, let's move on to the bridge section, the middle eight.
Yeah.
So when this came about, so Jack sent me through the demo, and I was going through it, and I thought, let's have a bit of a moment here for a bit of an instrumental. You know, we're doing an album, we're going to stretch our legs a bit. Let's see what we could do. Let's be a bit more imaginative, a bit creative. So here we are. At the middle eight, whatever you want to call it. Bridge, instrumental, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it started off with this piano idea. Kind of a Dorian piano idea. Doesn't really do much. I thought, we can build around that. Eventually, anyway, to cut a long story short, eventually it came to the backing vocals, and we thought, let's make them a bit of a feature here. So let's have a listen to this backing vocal section.
Interesting. Ooh.
Guys are in.
Well, what's this round the corner?
Yeah, it's so good. They did such a good job on that. I basically got them in the studio and just said, yeah, sing something in there. And you know what? They kind of came out with that. I just want to highlight specifically Tom and Sam on the tenor part. This top F sharp at the end, okay? Top F sharp, and it lasts for 6 bars, okay? And it's just in one breath. It's amazing. Listen out for Tom. He gets a bit raspy. Because that's only one breath, and they're just dying there doing that. But you know what? It absolutely makes it, and it just
adds that gritty edge which we wanted as well, Rob.
Yeah.
To this, what we've christened it as a mini urban opera.
Yeah, mini urban opera. That's the term nowadays. Anyway, have a listen to that. John Barry's got his bass trombone out there.
He has.
Oh, when the band plays.
Yeah, so we get to this section here. It's a piano feature, piano solo, basically. Essentially doing nothing. So my ethos with a solo when it comes to piano is just play the tune.
Yeah.
That's what people want to hear. They want to hear the tune. You don't want to hear me going off and doing something that I can't quite do very well, because I'm not really a soloist. Just play the tune. So that's what you get. But I mixed it then with this DX Grand sound, which is essentially just playing the same thing. It's panned slightly over to the left. And all this does here is it just thickens up that sound. So let's have a listen to that. You can't hear that in the mix at all. It's just really, really toppy and very percussive. You put that with the piano, and you've suddenly got this really glassy sound that's just going to cut through that mix. Add the horns in on top of that second time round. And everyone's happy. You've got the tune and you've got it in bucket loads.
And then we come to this little moment.
Yeah, so this next section. Yeah, so it was one of those in the early days of getting the arrangement through.
Yeah.
I thought, we could just do with a little bit of a break here. The song's going swimmingly up till now, but I thought let's have a bit of something different here. I think there was a key change coming up in your original, and essentially I do this a couple of times in the album. I just throw some more material in there, just to give it a break and just let it breathe. And the thing about with the middle eight is you don't really have to do. I always think you never have to do too much.
No.
In order to make it work, it's just got to be something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And this is what it is. It's just a bit of a different idea, different chords, bit of a different feel to it.
Yeah. And certainly lyrically as well, Rob, when you sent this sort of initial drafter in.
Yeah, just some chords. I just sent some chords back to Jack, which is quite nice, because normally Jack's sending the chords through to me, and I just sent them all through to you.
It's good, it's organic.
Yeah, it's back and forth, it's nice.
But lyrically, what we'll hear in a second as well, it was just... I never labour over words. I think if you labour over a lyric too much, it's not worth pursuing. It should just. Yeah,
that's why I never write lyrics, because I just labour over them. I do an hour's work and I get like 2 words out, so that's why. Yeah.
Usually at the end, isn't it, Rob?
So let's have a listen to this. It's double tracked as well, which is really nice.
Yeah,
with a bit of harmony over there.
If paradise is half as nice as billboards claim, I'd go insane. Keep me down, keep me dirty, make me weak, make me worthy.
Yeah, and those few phrases, Rob, I think that's the crux of the song.
Yeah.
You know, if paradise is half as nice as billboards claim, I'd go insane. Keep me down, keep me dirty, make me weak, make me worthy. It's just, it sort of sums the whole point of the song up.
100%, yeah, I agree. And following up that, we have this fantastic ensemble section. So basically, anybody that came in the studio in the time of recording this was asked to just lay down a vocal track for this group section of vocals that we have, what we've just called the ensemble in this number. and it just opens up the song, and just instead of being about just one person, not necessarily yourself, but one person, it suddenly opens it up, and it suddenly feels like, oh, this is a bit of a it's almost like a musical theatre opening number, isn't it? Where you just have that ensemble section, which is more than just one person. It's kind of enveloping. It just makes it feel a bit more weighty, the whole song, and gives it a bit more meaning. So yeah, let's have a listen to these.
We don't need no satisfaction. We don't need no lights and camera action.
Now, I'm going to take a little bit of credit for some of these lyrics. I wrote about 2 of those words in there. Obviously referencing Rolling Stones, isn't it? Yeah, we don't need no satisfaction. That's a reference to that.
There's
a little bit of a
bit of that in it. Was, I think I sent it through to you, Rob, actually. It was Randy Newman's I Love LA.
Right.
Which I just love. I just love the way by the end, Venice Boulevard, Santa Monica Boulevard, we love it. And it's this big, raw, raucous, like you say, community that just springs forth and is hammering the point home.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. So it's a nice, and basically I just asked everyone to do it once. Don't try and get it perfect. Don't try and get it, it was not edited or processed. It was just completely raw, and it just gives it that vibe, that atmosphere that's just a lot bigger. And the shouting at the end was quite fun, because I just said, right, now you've got to shout this bit. And everyone just said, I don't think so. And you know what? They did eventually. They got into it.
Lights and camera action!
Yeah. And it works very well. And about that, it then just propels it into this final chorus, which is probably my favourite point of the track, actually. It just goes from ensemble and then back into the backing vocals.
Lights and camera action! It's a symphony!
Yeah, so it just, the backing vocals there panned quite hard left, hard right between the 6 of them. And it just opens it back up again. The ensemble is quite tight, panned in the middle. It's not too wide. So Jack, this final chorus, let's have a listen to to your vocal, because I tried doing a demo of this and it didn't work.
Agony and ecstasy.
I can't sing that.
Innocence and complicity. Virtue and villainy.
I just want to highlight, this is my personal favourite.
I know where you're going with
this. Personal favourite thing about this track is just the sound that comes out of Jack. I don't know what it is.
I think it's relief that I'm hitting the notes. Right?
Yeah, have a listen. After every single one of these lines. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's great.
James Brown is alive and well.
Yeah. It's great, Anyway, so this final chorus, let's have a listen to it.
Agony and ecstasy. Innocence.
Tambourine flying there.
Yeah, it's a big feature, actually, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's a symphony.
Backing vocals.
And the band plays on.
And the band plays
Yeah,
on.
indeed, the band does play on. So, this little bit here, I thought, we've got to do something with it. I was just kind of riffing on this. Back to the idea that we had an instrumental, but in the piano.
Yeah.
And I thought at the end of that, we've got to have something just to kind of cap off this.
I think the song goes in that many directions, Rob. The arrangement, it needs then one final destination, and that's where we're heading.
And so basically, I thought, well, this would be great with a guitar solo, but I am not. I was thinking the sort of guitar solo I was imagining, I could not recreate. I couldn't do it.
Rob.
I couldn't do it. I genuinely couldn't. No, I'm really not that much of a guitarist, but I can play a keyboard. So I thought, right, let's put a synth solo in there. And I remember sending this to you, and
well, it was very. We've just gone sort of midway through lockdown, hadn't we?
Yeah.
And it was boiling hot.
Yeah, I think it was probably the heat that made me do that.
Heat exhaustion.
I might have got
delirium.
I might have got a new synth, the virtual synth, and just thought, you know what, let's just chuck it on there, let's see what happens. And I came up with this. It's a pitch bends.
Yeah.
And then again, I think I've discovered a pitch bend wheel and just went to town. And again. Yeah, and he just, I was like, I was honestly, I sent it through to you and I expected you to go, what have you done?
Yeah.
Where's this come
You
from? 'Cause-
lunatic. What are you
yeah,
doing?
I mean, look, we're the Coalfield Symphony. We do orchestral overtures. We can't have this going on. What's all this about? But you know what? It's kind of sets the tone. There's a lot in this album that we've...
The thing is, there's so much energy in this song.
Yeah,
And
I think it works.
It brings that energy just to a real pacey close. We're not sort of... We're not dying away. We're keeping going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Barry just tanking away on that offbeat.
There's the boys. Oh, now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just propels it into the next track, I think.
But Rob,
yeah.
I have to mention, in the playout, as the band plays on, that delicious 5-string bass.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a late addition to the to the bass track, actually. Yeah, there we go. So it goes down to low C there. Yeah, really rattly around there. I do enjoy that. Yeah, let's put that with the drum track. It just really, it really grounds it very nicely. Bit of guitar in there. Yeah, he just drives it on towards the end of the track. It's kind of like a train that's just like, just keep going. Yeah. And so on. Yeah. So I think that's about it really for this song. I mean, I could sit here for hours and bore you playing solo tracks, but I don't think we need to do that.
No,
I think it's all there.
We've bored them enough, really.
Yeah, I think it's all there. That's all we have for this episode of Under the Coalfield. We hope that you found it somewhat enlightening as to the process that myself and Jack go through to bring you the music of the Coalfield Symphony. A quick reminder to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, give it a share, and drop us a comment below. We always love to hear from you. Next Friday, the 20th of November, sees the launch of our second single, Lone Operator. You can find a pre-save link for the next single and another for the album in the description, which will add them straight to your Spotify, Apple Music or other streaming service library on their release days, so you'll be the first to hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.